100.1 Moose FM. I'm Dub Catarina's here, and we're joined now by Jason Blaine, the Canadian country recording artist, who is going to be joining Jason McCoy and Chad Brownlee on the Great Canadian Roadtrip 2.0, coming up March 19th at the Ovintiv Events Centre in Dawson Creek. Jason, how are you today, sir?
Guys, I'm doing great. Great to see you guys. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're very welcome. Thank you for making some time for us today. Why don't we just start with, how things are going? I mean, holidays are coming up. You're probably starting to get kind of revved up for this tour you're doing of, at least so far, announced most of Western Canada. How you feeling?
I'm so stoked to get back out on the road, first of all. But to be touring with these guys is going to be an absolute blast. Folks who might have joined us quite a number of years ago now. I don't even want to say how many, but myself and Chad Brownlee and our good buddy Derek Rattan did a tour across Canada called the Your Town Throwdown Tour back in 2013. That's where I met Chad for the first time, and we became fast friends and been good buddies ever since. I've known Jason McCoy for a lot of years as well. I mean, he was a little bit ahead of us on the scene, making hit records and then of course with the Road Hammers and stuff, and we became really great friends. So this is going to be an absolute blast to tour with two of my best friends in the industry. Funny guys too, like hilarious. McCoy is so quick-witted, and Chad is very funny too, funnier than folks realize. So I think the fans are really in for a treat.
Yeah, I mean, it sure sounds like it. This is one of those situations where it's sort of like a triple bill, triple headliner. So I assume each of you are kind of going to do your own set. I'm sure you don't want to give too much away, but is there perhaps a chance we'll see all three of you combine forces for a song or two or many?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that question. I think that I've got the green light to say this, so I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to do it differently. We're not going to come out and each do individual sets. We're going to come out swinging together, all three of us.
Nice.
And just hit them with hits, and we're going to play on each other's songs. Maybe we'll even take a verse of each other's songs. We're going to really, really shake the whole thing up from what fans are used to seeing.
Man, I love that so much. I just love when artists like collaborate like that, when you've all kind of had your own thing going on, you've had your own set of hits. Certainly Jason's been around a long time, so he's got a huge body of work. The fact that you're all going to play off, I'm so excited for this. What can I say?
I want to ask you what your favorite part about touring is. Like, it sounds like this is already going to be really fun. You're changing things up, but there has to be something that you absolutely love about touring. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's many things, but I'll give you two. Okay. And this really became very apparent during the dark years we don't speak of, the COVID years.
Yeah.
And when we weren't able to tour, before then I had toured every year for 20 years. Like, I mean, even before I had songs on the radio, I played all kinds of clubs and bars and stuff. And so I missed the hang with the musicians, and just the camaraderie of just being out, knocking around, playing with a band, great band, and just the jokes and the laughs and the camaraderie. So I missed that. And then I mean, not even second, equal to that, I miss the fans. I miss their faces. I miss the stories that they share with us. When you meet them at a meet and greet or whatever, somebody will come up and tell me how they danced to my song, Dance with My Daughter, at their wedding. Or they played They Don't Make Them Like That Anymore at their grandpa's funeral. And these things are really, really touching to an artist, really, really moving, more so than anything, really. So it's just the human connection. There's nothing like touring. What's music for if not sharing a night with the fans?
Mm-hmm. So you said you've toured with Chad before, some time ago now, and Jason very well. Who do you think, or who do you know to be kind of the biggest party animal of the three of you? Who do you think is going to kind of cut loose the most on this tour?
It's me.
I mean, as long as you're aware, right?
I am definitely self-aware. I know, like, Jason's pretty low key, and Chad is as well. He's been clean living for a while, and so It's definitely not. We're not in the same speed as back in the day on the Your Town Throwdown tour. We were sponsored by 40 Creek Whiskey on that tour, and things got out of hand.
Oh my goodness. You kind of touched on, when fans share songs that they played at special moments. Do you have that one song that just you love to perform? You can't go without performing it because it has a special place for you?
Oh my gosh, that one. It's changed over my career, right? Like it's for a minute. It had been They Don't Make Them Like That Anymore, and it probably still is to a certain extent. That's the song that probably one of the biggest of my career that won Song of the Year at the CCMAs one year. But the Dance with My Daughter song since then, not as big of a radio hit, but it's been the snowball dark horse of my career because of social media, right? And TikTok and all these things. It's week after week my biggest streaming song. Mm-hmm. Wow. So a lot of requests to not leave that one out of the set. And then recently, The Road That Raised You Up. It had been a couple of years since I had a hit song so big that really brought me back to the top of the charts. So that one's going to remain a very special song for a very long time. In a lot of ways, it felt like a first single. It was like it breathed new fire into my career. So, and it's a really fun song to play. So fans can for sure expect to hear those.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you've got this road trip starting up, I think early March it is, but before then, of course, we got the holiday season. So, just in general, I mean, you're at home now. Is that kind of your plan for the holiday season? Do you like to make it at home, or do you have any kind of special trip planned?
So this is a year we make the big long drive back to Pembroke, Ontario, Canada. Yeah. And as we were talking about just before we get started, then my accent, my Ottawa Valley accent becomes much different when I cross the northern border. And so we're going to be driving from Nashville. It's 1,000 miles door to door, and we're leaving Christmas Day.
Wow.
Awesome.
Do you have any holiday traditions that you, no matter whether you're on the road or at home, that you got to keep? I'd love to know.
We do. We started some family traditions. We love a real tree. We always, the guitars always come out. That's as far back as I can remember, and it's probably the reason I do what I do for a living. It'll be my dad and my brother, and sometimes uncles or somebody. Now there's nieces and nephews and joining in that have learned to play guitar, and we'll fumble our way through Christmas songs, forgetting that all the chords we learned for last year. Christmas songs are the hardest songs to play. And and I started this tradition with the kids where I'll read the Christmas story from the Bible on Christmas Eve.
I see. And I imagine you won't play any Christmas songs during the Great Canadian Road Trip, but if you were going to choose one that you want to perform for everybody, it's your favorite Christmas tune, what would that one be, Jason?
Oh, that's a great question. So selfishly, I wrote a Christmas song just a couple of years ago and released it. It's on Spotify, and maybe you guys have even played it. It's called Family for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And the message of the song is simply, all I want is my family for Christmas. And it references something, and it references any old song by Crosby or Bing. Sure would be great to hear them church bells ring. So it's really, I love the oldies. I think I go back to White Christmas from Bing Crosby. There's something about that song that just moves me deeply.
Oh, yeah. Personally, my favorite Christmas song too, if I may say. I love that song. It has something special. It kind of makes you feel nostalgic, right?
It really does. It's so hard to explain, but I think the song is so baked into our psyche from movies too. It's all heartwarming. It's everything Hallmark. It's memories, and it's even memories for your parents, even when they were young, and it's so multi-generational. I know that apparently Mariah Carey's song has surpassed it in terms of the numbers, but it'll never. You can't make an old song, right? You can't add the years on it. It'll just have to. Mariah Carey's song will have to hang around another 40 years.
Absolutely. All right. Well, since you brought it up, one last question for you, Jason. That holiday movie you got to watch every year. Which one is it? Oh, Oh, it looks like, oh, you're still there. Yay. Perfect.
We got him back.
Sorry, I had a call come in. I had to quickly click away.
All good. Jason, what's that holiday movie you can't go a Christmas without watching?
I'm a Griswolds guy.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Cousin Eddie. It's gotta be every single year that movie. It gets better and better. You catch something else, right?
Absolutely. All right, Jason. Well, you're going to be here on March 19th. Well, in Dawson Creek, technically, but we're just down the road. March 19th at the Ovintiv Events Centre for the Great Canadian Roadtrip 2.0. Also with your pals, Jason McCoy and Chad Brownlee. These tickets would make a great stocking stuffer. You can get them now at lakeviewtix.com. Jason, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. See you guys soon.